Hello guys, and welcome to another Hackerrank video. Today we'll be looking at the modified Kaprekar numbers. So for this problem, we're given the value n with d digits, and it says that if we actually square that number and then we split that number in half, then if we add the right half plus the left half, we should get that number back. For instance, if we have the number 9 and then we square it, we should get the value 81. If we split it in half, we get 8 and 1. If we add 8 and 1, we get back to 9. If we have 99 and we square that, we get 9,801. If we split that in half, then we get 89 and 1. If we add 89 and 1, we get 99. So if you go down here, you can actually see that 99 is a Kaprekar number. So they actually give us an article on Wikipedia that gives us the proof for this, and I have spent a little bit of time looking at the proof, and I realized that it's pretty easy to understand. So rather than actually go ahead and create a string and do all of that stuff, we're going to go ahead and just convert this formula into code, and that should work for this problem. So what we're doing is, at least for this for the formula, we're given the number, right? And what we do is we take the base of the number and then we get the power of the base based on the size of the number. So for this case, we have 45. The thing is that we have to square 45 anyway. But however, to mod that, we have to take the base, which is going to be in the base 10 system, and we multiply it by the size that we get from 45. So 45 has 2 digits. So we take the power of the base to the second here, and then what we do is that we take the power minus the mod that we get from the top part, divided by the base, and we get 20. We then add the mod plus the division that we get here, which is going to be 20 plus 25. You see that equals to 45, and that gives us the Kaprekar number. If you're interested in the other stuff, you can actually read it. It's not that complicated to get, so I think it's a fun question. So what I'm going to do here is just convert what we have here into code, and while we're doing this, I'll be talking over the problem. So with all of my easier Hackerrank problems, I would typically scribble everything on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, but I never provide any or do any code for it or check ahead of time. The reason is because if I do that and I give you guys some perfect solution all the time, it's not a learning progress. It's not a learning progress for me or for you. The thing is, I want to make mistakes. I'm not afraid of making mistakes, and then people can learn from that as well. So fixing things and stuff like that is great. So I haven't done any submissions for this, and we're gonna go ahead and submit some code for this. All right. So what we need to do first is we need to keep some variables. The first one would be to calculate the base. So I'm gonna create a variable here, call this one base. And then it says here that if there are no Kaprekar numbers that exist within the range that we're looking for, we have to print the value invalid range. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a boolean here, and then I'm gonna call this one flag, and I'm going to go ahead and set it to false initially. Then we need to go ahead and create our for loop. I'm going to call this one n here. This is going to equal to p. You need to go ahead and make that range less than or equal to q. I'm going to do plus plus n. Alright, so once we have this, the first thing we need to do is grab the actual size of the number. So in this case, the reason why we have 10 squared here is because there exist 2 characters in 45. But what happens if we had 100 or 1,000? Then we have to modify the base accordingly, right? So for that part, let's go ahead and make a variable here, and I'm going to use the integer toString method, pass in n here, and then we're going to get the length of it. So that's going to give us the size of the characters within the number. And then what we need to do is set the base accordingly. So we're going to say base is going to equal to let's cast this to an int, and we're gonna use the power function, and let's pass in 10 and L here. Alright, so once we're done with that, we need to actually take the power of the number. So we need to square the number, right? So let's go back here and let's create a long, let's call this one power. This is going to equal to, and let me cast this to a long, and we're going to get math dot power, and what we're going to do is pass in n and 2. All right, so we're going to square that number. That's the second part of the equation. And then what we need to do is grab the mod of the power, which is going to be 45 squared, mod the base. It's going to give us 25. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do a long mod is going to equal to power, right, mod base. And then the next thing that we need to do is the actual division. So we need to take n squared minus b over bp. Okay, so you take the power that we got minus the mod, divide that by the base. So in this case, just make a variable. I'm going to call this one div. It's going to equal to power, right, minus mod, and then divide it by the base. Now we just need to check one thing. So we're going to say that if, right, the division plus the mod is equal to n, then we have a Kaprekar number. So what we need to do is actually print that number, and I believe it has to be space separated. Okay, so I'm gonna use system.out.printf, and I'm gonna pass in %d space and then pass n here. Next thing, we need to actually figure out if we found a Kaprekar number. Actually, still messed that up. Can't pronounce it right. A Kaprekar number. And what we can do is we can set this to true now because we found one. And this is it, at least for the each number within the for loop. So that this should check out. And if we don't find it, so we're going to say that if not found, right? If we didn't find anything, then we actually need to print it to state that we didn't find anything in the range. So we're going to do a system.out.printf, and then do a %s for this specifier, and pass in that invalid statement here. So let's copy this. And let's paste it. So do that and paste. Alright. Alright. And I think this should be it for this problem. So I'm gonna scroll down and let's test this. Yeah, and we're good. And let's submit. Alright guys, this will be it for this problem. If you have any questions about the problem, please let me know. I will see you again. Have a good day. Bye bye.